Hello, everybody. This is Sweta Regmi, your career consultant from Canada. It is 11:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. I teach do's and don'ts to job seekers, especially to newcomers and laid off professionals. And why I pick those people is because I have walked a mile in their shoes. I was a newcomer years ago. I also got laid off after working in the hiring world as a hiring manager for more than 12 years. It was really hard for me to bounce back. That's when I developed this framework, which I teach to all the job seekers out there. I tested those strategy to everyone before launching consulting from Teach and Do. So today, I have my client. His name is Khalid. He took our resume writing course, and we're going to go through that. And why I bring those guests who I literally work together, not everybody I invite them on a live, but I pick and choose who I wanted to invite because he has so much value to add today. He was a newcomer. He got laid off as well. He was working survival jobs as well. Now he's back to where his reality kicked in when he landed in Canada. Jared, welcome so much to our live. This has been streamed in LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook account as well. Tell us about yourself. Going back to interview.
It's my pleasure to be here today live. I've never been. This is my first time, so apologies if I make any mistakes. And yeah, so like half of the introduction Sweta already gave over here that I came here as a newcomer. I was doing survival jobs. I was trying for something in my field. I had some reality checks going on that it is not what it sounds like, what it seems like. It's a lot of tough work, a lot of hard work that you got to put in yourself to even like when it comes to applying jobs, and how you present yourself is more important. So half of the presentation is done through your resume through on the jobs. So yeah, I was applying to a lot of jobs, and today I am in a happy place. I would say that finally, after a struggle of a long time, because I was in touch with Sweta for a very very long time, probably a year and a half since 2019. So that's the time when I was actually following Teach and Do very closely on LinkedIn, and there was a break point in my life, and I was like, Shweta, hey, you gotta help me out. I am in a bad spot right now. I really don't know what to do, and I don't want to do what I'm doing right now. What is it that I can do that would help me to get out of it? And so yeah, going back and forth, and finally, and one fine day, I took up a resume writing class because I personally thought that I need to work on my resume because I did feel I had a proper background and everything, but there was something that was lacking. And Shweta found out that what was lacking and what could help me build my resume. And so I took the resume writing class. I applied to a couple of jobs. I cracked a few interviews here and there, multiple interviews, obviously, and finally got what I wanted to get.
Wow, that's fascinating, right? So let me
Yeah.
tell our viewers who are watching right now, you probably are in the same boat right now,
Yeah.
and we can completely relate. I work with a lot of clients like that. So when they follow me on a teach and do for a year, just like Jayed did, I didn't even know he was following me until one day I got this heart-wrenching message, long message from him, the whole story about it. And I felt really connected, right? Because I was a newcomer. You landed in Canada around 2018, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then you took the course you gave me. I took the course just to upgrade the skills, and it was
Exactly. Yeah.
$14,000 course.
Yeah.
And you are not able to get what you want either, on from that course itself. Like, there was not much of things you could do. How do you get back was the reality check after spending so much
Exactly.
time on that post-graduation course. And then
Exactly.
you wanted to get back to where you were when you were working back home. So I think what happened was you gave me all the stories, but when someone asked me on message, like, can you advise me? I'm very, very cautious on telling people I think you should do this because I've not worked with them. And I don't know anything about you. I don't know your
Exactly.
marketing plan. I don't know your niche market. So I'm extremely, extremely cautious. And I told him, hey, do you want to hop on the call, like discovery call, and find out, like, how we can work together?
Yeah.
He never called me. So
I never called you, and I think that was like later after a year that I gave you a call. I was like, okay, let's work out on a discovery call.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. Then there's a long email again, right? Long message
Yeah.
again from him saying, so I've been laid off now. Like I was working the survival job. I was
Yeah.
surviving with the minimum wage as well. But like, I'm broken right now. Like, you know what? I really need help. Now this is the time I'm going to drop everything, give it a last try. Can we talk on the phone? And I remember it was weekend. So I said, okay, I'm just going to call
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And we called, we got connected. And I knew exactly what was a problem. And I said, okay, well, I kind of have an idea what's a problem. Let me see the resume. Let's go from there. And it was a weekend course that I put it together with you. And we worked today on the resume writing course, Saturday and Sunday. I remember that.
10 to 11.
Yes. So we worked together and we were extremely clear on, okay, what was lacking. So what happened after? So you started applying and I heard that you got, and I was so like, okay, and I always check on with my client. Okay, what's going on, right? Like, and then you go, oh, I just had multiple interviews. I have interviews here. I had interviews Tesla. And I'm like, tell me more about it. How did you get there? So tell us about how did you get the interview at Tesla? What happened? How many rounds did you reach?
Yeah, so for Tesla, I had applied at a position earlier and I was rejected straight away because my resume was an older format, like an older resume. And they did give me a feedback though. They were like, probably update your resume and show us what you what you actually are, like present it in a different way, and probably we can give you a chance. So, and at that point of time, a month passed away from then, and then I took Shweta's class of resume writing, and I was working with her back and forth for 2 days. She was giving me all the helpline, all the tools on how to work, how to target, and the positions, and what you need to see when you're writing a resume and all those stuff. So she helped me out totally. And then I reapplied at Tesla, and I cracked actually 3 rounds of interview. I didn't get in because they actually wanted a little more of a different, what I would say is a different kind of experience and category. And so I didn't get in, but I did crack 3 rounds of interview with the HR and then with the hiring manager also. So I had 2 rounds with the HR, and then the last round was the hiring manager. This was around Christmas time, Christmas to New Year time. And yeah, I didn't get that. No, I was having my fingers crossed, and I was hoping I would get Tesla, but I didn't get that. But they always say there's always something in store for you, and it's for the best.
Rejection,
So
our new direction, and
it was a new direction. I wasn't disheartened. Why? Because I knew that now my resume is at a position where people will actually look into it because it is more presentable. It has what it needs, and that's because thanks to Sweta, she showed me it. And so I kept applying. I kept applying to many jobs. I started getting after New Year is when I started getting a lot of interviews, multiple interviews. I was doing interviews every single day at that point of time, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I had interviews lined up. Some were physical interviews, some were online. I had one interview of a sales engineer for another company in Oakville. Then I had an interview of a mechanical assembler for a global company. That will also located in Oakville. And then finally, I had applied to something came up, and I was like going through all the big company websites. This is what happens when you are actively looking for a job full-fledged. You know a lot of companies. So like even when I used to drive by, I look at companies and I'm like, oh yeah, I know this company, I know that company. Why? Because I applied over there. And then my wife is asking like, where didn't you apply? Like you apply here and there, every single place. Like It was crazy because I know them by name, right? So um, and then I was checking a website for a couple of automotive companies directly, and that's when I applied. And one of them being Honda. That's when I applied, and I finally got an interview. One was so straight away the day I applied, next day I got an email from the HR said that we want to have a face-to-face interview with you. And I went through the HR. I had a physical test, and then I had an HR round, and the other day, so it was around Tuesday, I think. Yeah, I went in Tuesday. I went all the way to Alliston. It was around like 1 p.m. It took me at least an hour 45. It was an hour interview. Yeah, it was an hour, and I came back home, and then I was prepping for my another interview, which was on Wednesday morning, 10 a.m., which was in Oakville. So I was prepping for that, and then I went there in the morning, and I was driving, and I get a call from Honda saying, "Hey, congratulations! We would like to extend you the offer and everything." For 1 second, it was like, okay, what'd you say? I didn't hear you because I'm driving. I'm like, what? So they were like, no, we'll like to extend you the offer. But do you want to accept it? I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely accept it. I definitely accept it. Okay, but I still went to the other interview, and I didn't give up because everything is an experience, right? So yeah, I attended that interview, and that same evening, I got a call saying, "Oh, you're hired too. Like, we like your resume, and we would like to extend you the offer." So I was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I really appreciate the offer, but I accepted an offer from another company."
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing
Yeah,
that. And I thank you so much for telling us that, you just kept on applying online. Now,
yeah. Don't
you've
give
done
up.
everything. You've done everything I tell my clients not to do. So
Yeah,
there's like the classes I teach, one size does not fit all. Where I teach from like, resume
yeah.
writing to marketing to personal branding, putting a LinkedIn profile,
Exactly.
how to network, how to do the interview. I'd never done that with you. All I did with
Yeah,
you was I
just
taught you how
just
to
right.
write the resume. I didn't
Exactly.
tell you like, listen, like, what, you should not be applying everywhere. Like, I was like, okay, my job is done. I'll teach you how to write the resume. And you can target like, the job that, it's on a
Yep.
niche market that we want. Now that we have that clarity when it comes to the marketing, we know like, where you can, bring your the previous experience with the resume work together. I'd never talk about how do you do the network. Like that's not a part of resume writing course.
Exactly.
And your admitting right now is, so he's gone. Okay, wait, I'm gonna add. Your Wi-Fi was gone, I think.
Well, no, it's completely working.
I know
Your
it was
your
gone.
the camera went blank.
Hopefully we're there. So the
Yeah,
funny part is like, you're doing everything, which is like no networking, no LinkedIn branding the way that I tell people
yeah,
to do it. You're just applying online, you're getting interviews after interviews. And that was quite fascinating. And that's the reason you're here today. Because we,
yeah.
as a career coach, we tell people like, listen, job search is all about like, putting things together. And I think that was an eye-opener for me as well. Like, a lot of people who take resume writing courses with me, they've gotten higher, and that was an eye-opener for me. Listen, if the marketing plan is clear, if the person got the resume writing, you know what, that's a first piece. And I don't know what happens after that. When you do the
Yeah.
interview, maybe you're very good at interview. I don't know that, right? Like, I tell people all the time, take this resume writing course, and you know what, and if you fail the interviews multiple times, and if you're not even getting interviews, then you're going to come back to me and I can show you the networking, personal branding, and everything. So most people, like, they don't end up coming back to me. I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's like you're getting so much of interviews that you don't ever need me because you figured it out now by going to the interviews, right?
Yeah.
What was the lesson learned? Like, what would you advise those people who are on the same boat right now, newcomer, going and upgrading with a postgraduate course in the hope of getting a job, and then working survival jobs, and now you're going back to your own field, Honda benefits. I hear the benefits are really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
You're happy. What's a lesson learned during this whole process? Do you think that you could have contacted someone before? Do you think that, what, you should have still done a lot of homework?
Yeah. So personally, what I would suggest all the viewers is that first thing is that never give up. It's not the end. I know there's tough times. It is difficult, but I personally having an engineering degree and then having a project management degree, I had a very diverse field when I came to Canada. My role became entirely different, and I was doing totally a different job. I was in a totally different job role compared to what I'm in right now. It's not the end. If you are ready to thrive and struggle, and you know what you want, because there is a saying like, if you are not happy in that kind of job, then you are never going to continue it, that kind of job. Like, you will never be satisfied, and there will be something in the back of your mind that will keep telling you, oh, you know what, it's another day, I need to keep uh, doing it again, like, just because I'm getting money. My job, what I'm doing right now, I currently enjoy it because it's my passion. I love cars. I love working with cars. That's one of the role that I was doing before, but was completely slightly different. But yeah, so this is more like a passion. So the only thing that for me is the commute. It takes me an hour long to go, but that's a totally different story. But yeah, it's really fun. You will never hear anybody saying my job is fun, but yeah, my job, for me, it is fun. Uh, so yeah, but when if you're headstrong, you want to get into some certain field of yours, and you know that you are capable, you have the experience from back home or whatever it is, and like, if you have an idea like what you need, and if somebody's able to provide you that tool, like in my case, I got to know about teacher.
I think it's a Wi-Fi issue with him, so he's gonna probably come back. We'll wait for him. So basically, the moral of the story is, just because you landed in Canada, you newcomer, right? That doesn't mean that you are not capable of going back to the workforce here. You got to make sure that your marketing plan is really, really clear.
Shweta, I'm sorry, something happened again.
Wi-Fi. I think I can go on.
I don't know what's happening, but for some reason it's going off, and my Wi-Fi is still connected for some.
That's fine. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not kicking you out because I need you here. So go. I
yeah,
feel for you. I feel for you. Go on. What were you saying?
yeah. So what I was saying is, if you know that if you know of somebody who's providing you that tools, and for me in this case was Sweta and her consultancy, I knew what she was doing. I knew I didn't go in blindfolded. I was checking her LinkedIn, whatever her postings were. I was also following other people who went through the same course or whatever course. One size doesn't fit all. That kind of course. Everybody had their reviews on their website, on LinkedIn. She had a couple of lives with other people too that I happened to watch, and I kept following closely. And I was like, and then I went through her website. She had multiple different programs that you can take, which suits your needs. It's not necessary that you got to take, like she said in the beginning, that you don't need to take something that everybody takes. It's not necessary if you know that you can work with that particular program. For me, it was being the resume. I took resume writing. I knew I had the background. I knew I could crack the interview. I knew I could present it. I just need something that was much more presentable on paper, that would catch their eye, and they'll be like, okay, let's give this guy a chance. So yeah, so that's what I would like to say. Listen, don't give up. I know times are hard, especially during COVID. I got hired during COVID, during January, and I never gave up. Yes, I had many days where I was mentally stressful, mentally depressing. I would, you know, I don't know how would I pass those days, but yeah, one thing is that I kept going. I never gave up. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. For people, some people it takes longer. For some people it takes sooner. Some people it's in the midway. So yeah, for me it took me 2 3 years, almost 3 years, you could say. It's 2018 is when I came, and it's 2021. So it took me almost 3 years. 3 years is a long time, but yeah, don't give up.
So just the viewer, no, it's not 3 years with teach and do. It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks of teach and do, and yeah, a 1 year of knowing teach and do, couple of weeks with teach and do, actually with teach and do when taking the course, and 3 years in Canada. That's when all this together. That's when I landed a job.
That's amazing. I'm super happy for you. And thank you so much for coming today. And you know what?
It was my pleasure.
choosing us for your career path. And this is why we are here, so we can make an impact to the people like you who need to go back out there and showcase your talent. And we're
Yep.
so happy you found what you want. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And can people reach out to you through DM or something if they have any questions about the mechanical engineering tips? Or maybe, I know that you gave me some of the highlights when I asked you, hey, did you go with the recruiting company? Like you had so much insight on it.
Yeah.
So can they reach out to you by DM? Like, if there is anything that they can learn from you at all, how would they reach out? By LinkedIn?
Yeah, definitely. They can give me a direct message. They can contact me through LinkedIn and give me a direct message on LinkedIn. It takes me so. Yeah. Don't get mad if I don't reply quickly because I'm working throughout the week and the only time I get is Saturday, Sunday. So that's when I actively checked on LinkedIn. Even though if I appear during the week online on LinkedIn, that doesn't mean I'm really active. I'm just checking postings of Sweta what she posted. So yeah, so I'm just going through the LinkedIn notifications. But yeah, I definitely would reply to you guys during the weekend if in case I'm late on replies. You can reach me through direct message. I can give you general knowledge, like an insight on how things work and what you could do. There's a long way to go. It's not like I'm there yet. I have so many other things that I need to do, and I know what I have to do. After I know I got my right tool, I got my right weapon. Shweta equipped me already, and now I'm already in. But it doesn't stop there. I have to go more further. So yeah.
One thing before you go, what did you learn about ATS? Did you learn a lot? Applicant tracking system?
Oh yeah, a lot. The tools, there's so many tools that she gave me. I had no idea how Workday is one of the ATS systems. I had no idea how Workday works. There are many other ATS systems that I went through, and I only knew the name ATS. I didn't know what they do and how it functions and everything. And then Sweta actually showed me like how you can target the key points, and that's how the ATS filters your resume. So if you can crack that and even get your HR to look at it, and probably you can land an interview and get an email. So that's how after taking the course, that's how I cracked the ATS, and I landed a couple of emails, couple of interviews, online interviews. So yeah, after a long time of rejection emails, like about 10,000 emails, and looking at 5 emails saying congratulations, actually is worth it. Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
yeah.
I wanted to tell the viewer that it's not only about ATS that we work it out. ATS does not reject the resume.
Exactly.
It filters it out, but that we teach all of that. How do you crack, that interview, right? And
yeah,
such a good example of it. I have tons of clients who actually get an interview based on what I teach. But you're such a good example of, hey, I applied online, I got the interview, and I cracked it. I got multiple offers, right? So that's
yeah.
You are the perfect one to actually tell people, like, if you know how to write the resume and
Exactly.
if you apply for it, you get multiple interviews, right? And I'm going to talk to you right after I let you go on how do we teach people when it comes to resume writing. Anything you want to add before I let you go?
I would actually honestly and humbly suggest people that if you are still thinking to if you're still standing at the bridge thinking that okay, should I take Shweta's class or no, I would suggest don't waste your time. um, you definitely take it. It's worth the shot. It's worth all penny, and it will definitely help you. It For some people, like I said, it will work right away. For some people, it will take some time. But you will start definitely getting some really positive response. So she has a multiple courses that she offers, and once you go through those courses, you know what you want and what you need. You actually know. Obviously, we are all grown up adults, so we know what we actually want, and she can actually equip you properly and how to crack different things. Even if if it comes to cover letter writing, or even with cracking interviews with face to face with people, and resume writing and other things. So she can definitely help you out. I would suggest people that please do not delay that. I delayed for more than a year, and it took me a year. So please do not delay. Do take it. It's worth the shot. Do take it.
Thank you so much. It's like I almost paid you to just say these things. I didn't.
No, no, yeah, that I will put it out there. She didn't pay me. I'm not marketing her or anything, but I'm saying it from my personal experience that it really works, and it takes a lot of patience. You gotta have patience. You gotta have hard work, and you gotta put that hard work into yourself. If you're willing to put that hard work into yourself, you then, like they say, sky is the limit. It is. It's not like I'm sitting here and then just because I have a job and nice job and everything, and then I took a class and I'm saying every good thing. No, you all will get a chance to do that, but it's after a lot of rejections and a lot of hard work and a lot of knocking down is when you get up. Just one thing that I would quote. I know everybody must have watched the Batman movie from Christopher Nolan. The actor was Christian Bale, the original Batman, the trilogy. There's this quote where saying where the actual hero, like when he's a kid, he falls into a well, and his dad comes in and he says, "Why do we fall? So that we can get back up." Even though, like like it's a small quote, it's just a movie, but it is actually true, right? So we fall. I fell so many times, like deep down. I was financially stressed. I was mentally depressed. I was going through midlife crisis. I'm going through a lot of crises, and but I finally got a chance to get back up because I knew I'm not going to stay down. I don't want to stay down. I want to work myself up and keep working myself up. It's not the end. Even if I get one thing, don't stop there. Keep going up. You know what your degree and what your role means. So keep going at it. Do not stop there. All you have a lot of tools. We just have to look in the right place. That's it.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so beautiful. That's such a motivative, the quote that you put it in there. And I'm pretty sure there's so many people that are watching and people are going to be watching later on. They definitely need to hear that.
Yeah.
Your degree counts, your experience from back home counts, right? Don't let it go to waste just because someone tells you to get help. And I'm going to let you go and I'm going to talk a little bit about the resume writing things. And thank you so much. I know that you have family right now and we can take that time out of your life and educate people out there who want to be like you someday, who want to be working in the company like that. That means a lot to me and my team and all my viewers watching. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sweta. It was really nice, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that was one of our clients who took our resume writing class. Trust me, we didn't pay him anything to say anything at all. He just came in, he started talking about how the resume writing course helped him. Now, I wanted to tell you something. Resume writing is something that we are not able to help you if you're not clear on what you want. The way it works with anyone, wherever you go, is if you want to know where you want to go, you got to first know where you want to go. I can't come and tell you this is where you want to be. You have to identify the niche market. So some of you, I'm not sure if you know what niche is. If you know, please put it in there. What niche is? Just, I'm going to give you this here. Niche equals rich, and I teach rich model on my resume writing class. I go during the discovery call. I understand if I can take you in my program. I don't work with everybody, but I work with a specific type of people that I can help them bounce back in Canada, or even people who are laid off, even experienced folks. I have helped them bounce back in the market just with the resume writing itself. I don't write it for you. I do not write the resume for you at all on this class. I teach you. There's a couple of hours of class. I teach you and I give you the template that works. Now, talking about the template, I saw someone said, can you send me the template? Listen, I can share the template, but do you know what goes in there? There's nothing called ATS proof template. Absolutely not. There is no way that you can beat the bot. Although our courses says beat the bot and eyes, it means something else. You would only know when you sit down with me when I try to teach you how to write the resume. Okay? So stop looking for the ATS proof template. Stop downloading for it. Stop paying for it. It's not going to work. And if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your niche market, and if you do not know what goes in there, still the content is a king when it comes to resume. Yes, there's an ATS friendly template, which we do sell it as well. But I always ask people when they want the template, I ask them, do you know how to write it? If you don't know how to write it, my template's not going to work for you at all. But if you know how to write it, you just want like good template, which is ATS friendly, then you can download it and you can buy it as well. So please do not focus on the template. In fact, you can even go and write the resume on a blank piece of paper, start modifying here and there, it would work. It's all about how do you get that interview. And to get to that interview, it's not ATS looking at it. Yes, it's going to filter you out, put it on the higher score, but there's mandates in the company that they're required to look at every resume if they could. Then they will compare if you are good, if you're qualified. Some people, they just go like, you know what, I just want to put the keyword and that's how I'm going to hack it. It's not going to work. It's not only about keyword. It's all about how do you strategize. And sometimes the keywords are not found in the job descriptions. It's all skill set at the back end, what recruiters put it through. They already have a built-in template. They already have that job descriptions, right? Provided by the HR team, provided by the hiring manager. So you need to know all of it. And I teach all of that on my resume writing classes and it gets results. Okay. And you've seen the live example. You can look at the recommendations and review as well. And I promise you this much is if you don't know what you want, if your marketing plan is not clear, you're not even clear what goes on the resume. That's where a lot of people lack. I've seen the newcomers in Canada. Same thing with the know-it-all attitude, jack of all, Jack and Jill approach is not going to work. You got to be subject matter expert. You got to showcase your branding on a resume. Not everyone is well aware of their accomplishment stories. I teach all of that. How do you craft those beautiful accomplishment stories? It's not about what you've done in the past. It's all about what employers are looking for on the job description. That's exactly why you need to customize the resume for each job. But if you know what you want, you're probably not spending so much time in customizing. I give you the framework and you can apply the same framework for any job that you want as long as your niche market is clear. And I'm accepting some new clients. I have a limited spot. If you want to be on this program with me, it's customized. One-to-one, please contact me. And if you have any feedback, anything like that, please reach out to me on a DM. I have open message. If you want the discovery call, if you're landing in Canada soon, and if you want to talk to me about it, your career history, career path, hey, feel free to book in discovery call, Zoom call for 15 minutes, and we can chat. You and I, just you and I. There's no group. There's no Facebook group with me. There's nobody else watching you and me, just you and me together. Let's get it done. Thank you so much for watching me today, and hopefully you will enjoy your weekend. I wish you all the best. If you're looking for a job, you deserve better. Take care. Bye-bye.